Welcome to lesson number 21. In this lesson, we're going to learn about some dynamic markings, and then we're going to do a review of all of the musical terms that we have covered so far in the 5-Minute Theory book. Let's start off at the top of 21 by writing in our name, as we do on every lesson. Now, the dynamic markings that we're going to learn tell us how loudly or softly we should play. A P stands for piano, which basically means quiet or soft. If I double the P and I write PP, that stands for pianissimo, which is in Italian, which means very soft. Forte is the F marking, that means loud, and then if I want you to play fortissimo, or very loudly, I just double the Fs. So I can add more P's to the soft marking, 3 P's or 4 P's. Basically is a composer telling you he wants you to play very soft, or very, very soft, or very, very, very soft. And the same goes for playing loudly. F, F, F means fortissimo, and then etc., etc., you play very loudly. All of these dynamics are based off of how loudly you should play relative to your instrument and relative to the rest of the ensemble. Two other dynamic markings are mezzo piano. So this M before the piano means half or medium. So mezzo piano means medium soft. Mezzo forte means medium loud. So basically, P and F are the ones you need to know, and then mezzo is in the middle. Two other signs that you'll see are a crescendo, which means to gradually get louder, so the greater than sign. Sometimes you'll see this in music abbreviated CRESC period. Okay, and it might have a bunch of dots like this. Basically, if it's a very long crescendo, you'll have the crescendo marking. If it's a shorter crescendo, then you'll have the lines. The dynamic marking asking you to gradually get softer is called a decrescendo. Another word for it is diminuendo, or sometimes abbreviated dim. So you will see the lesser the sign to gradually get softer, or if it's a long diminuendo, you'll see it written out diminuendo or dim. So in this exercise here, basically what I'm doing is figuring out whether the first dynamic marking is softer than the second or louder than the second. And I'm going to draw a crescendo that goes from soft to loud, or diminuendo that goes from loud to soft. So here is loud to soft, so I need to gradually get softer. This one is mezzo forte to mezzo piano. So again, medium loud to medium soft, gradually get softer. Pianissimo to piano gradually gets louder. Not very much, but just a little bit. Sometimes you'll see very subtle dynamics written in like that. Mezzo forte, medium loud to fortissimo, very loud, is gradually going to get louder. Mezzo piano, medium soft to pianissimo, very soft, gradually gets softer. So it's basically just a little exercise to help you remember P, piano, soft, F, forte, loud, mezzo in the middle, and then gradually getting louder, gradually getting softer. Let's turn over to the second half of lesson number 21, and let's see if you remember some of the music notation symbols. Now, this is a point where I'd like you to stop the video, fill it all out to see how much you remember, and then start the video again and use me to check your answers instead of using me to cheat. Okay, all of the answers are down here somewhere, so you can use this kind of as your crutch. If you can't remember something, you can look down there until you see the symbol that you're looking for. So number 7 means very loud. We just covered that. Double forte, very loud. Not just forte, but double forte. A bass clef, Looks like an ear with 2 dots. Don't forget the 2 dots. A repeat sign. Speaking of 2 dots, I have a thick line and a thin line and the 2 dots. That's a repeat sign. I'm going to rest for 2 beats. Now remember, a half rest is 2 beats long. Looks like a hat. What cancels a sharp or flat? A natural sign. Medium loud, medium, which is going to be M, loud, which is going to be F, MF, mezzo forte. Lowers a note a half step. Remember, an accidental that lowers a note is called a flat. What increases a note's value by half? If I put this, a dot behind a note, it increases its value by half. Gradually get louder. I'm going to think greater than. 2 beats in a measure. I'm going to draw a time signature here. I could put 2 on top, 4 on bottom. That means there's 2 beats in a measure. Very soft. Okay, so soft is P, piano. Very soft is pianissimo, or double P. A note that gets 4 beats. Whole note. This raises a note a half step. A sharp. Rest for 4 beats. See if you remember that the box holds on to a line. When we draw it outside of the staff, we need to draw the line. Marks the end of a song. So it's like the repeat sign, but basically a thin and thick line is a double bar. Rest for 1 beat. Let's see if you remember how to draw the quarter rest. Gradually get softer, less than, and a note that gets 1/2 of a beat. What kind of note? So a quarter note gets a beat. An 1/8 note with 1 flag gets 1/2 of a beat. Okay, how did you do on that? So just remembering every one of those musical symbols is very important as you go to read music, because if you don't know the symbols and how all of this musicality stuff works, then you won't be able to play the music correctly. All right, if you got all of that correct, if you didn't, you might need to go back and review a couple of things, but if you get it all correct, then I'll meet you in the next lesson.